Art Deco. Art Deco came about in the 1920s after the end of World War I. Although it evolved from Art Nouveau, it took the more industrial-style architecture and refined it to make it more luxurious. While Art Nouveau was more inspired by natural shapes and patterns, Art Deco became more stylized and used more geometric shapes.
The materials used were very expensive, such as steel and aluminium, or new materials like glass blocks. Steel frames allowed the buildings to become skyscrapers due to the structural stability.
The movement declined due to expense because the wealthy could no longer afford to build the luxurious buildings during the Great Depression of the 1930s.
The decorations were highly intricate and detailed, as they used lacquering and glazing techniques for a streamlined finish.
The first example of the Art Deco movement is the Chrysler Building in Manhattan, New York. It was built in 1930 by architect William Van Allen and was the tallest building in the world until the Empire State Building was completed a year later.
The second example is Parkview Square, located at North Bridge Road in Singapore. It was built in the year 2002 by architect from James Adams Design together with DP Architects of Singapore.
Although Parkview Square was not built during the original Art Deco movement in the early 1900s, it is composed of the same elements and style.
Third example is the Empire State Building. It is located in Manhattan, New York, and it was built in 1st of May 1931. The architect is Shreve, Lamb and Harmon. Because the Empire State Building is made of a steel frame, it was the tallest building in the world until the 1970s. The exterior is made with glass, limestone and granite with aluminium accents.
Deconstructivism.
Deconstructivism is a continuation of postmodern architecture. It appeared in late 1980s. It was made known by 1982 Par de la Villette Architectural Design Competition.
Deconstructivism is meant to challenge all traditional styles of building design. It takes apart all the elements of a building to change and rearrange them to create something unexpected and new. Deconstructivism is intended to trigger strong emotions in the user of the spaces, often by creating a sense of discomfort through the architecture itself. Therefore, it is usually used in museums and galleries rather than in homes or offices.
Some of the main features of deconstructivism are the seemingly unrelated forms and abstract nature, the smooth exterior surfaces, the contrast of shapes and forms, and finally the materials are usually left exposed.
The main ideas of deconstructivism are, firstly, absence of harmony, continuity, or symmetry. Secondly, oppose the rationality of modernism. And lastly, use of non-rectilinear shapes.
The Art Science Museum was built in the year of 2011 and is located at Marina Bay Sands, Singapore, with the architect with Moshe Safdie.
The Singapore Art Science Museum is made of natural wave shapes instead of the conventional rectangular forms. The architect Moshe Safdie was inspired by the lotus flower, and the building itself a piece of art as well as an engineering marvel.
The Lou Rovo Center was designed by Frank Gehry in 2010 and is located in Las Vegas, Nevada. The third example is the Groninger Museum in the Netherlands, designed by Alessandro Mendini and completed in 1994.
Both the Lou Rovo Brain Health Center and the Groninger Museum have irregular forms and repetition of windows.
In conclusion, although the Art Deco and deconstructivist movements are very different to one another, they are both reflective of society challenging the classical styles of the past and finding a new voice in the architectural industry today.